in this connection between you, as you talk about, as you've publicly talked about Planned Parenthood and reproductive justice, the Pulse nightclub shooting, which
Yeah.
brings us to all kinds of intersections of identity as well as gun laws, and those sorts of tragedies in our nation. Talk to us a little bit about how you pursue both an economic growth agenda, an economic justice agenda, and the kind of intersectional social justice framework you're trying to realize in your district?
I love this question. So first of all, I am the type of person who runs towards the fire, not away from the fire.
Mm,
And I think for a lot of elected officials, they want to avoid these complex problems and just focus on campaign rhetoric and not actually help Floridians reach their fullest potential. And there have been so many crises in our community, whether it's the affordable housing crisis, whether it is the COVID-19 pandemic, or whether in our case in Florida, hurricanes and natural disasters and rising sea level. And so I do my best to help folks understand that their struggles are tied to their neighbors' struggles.
right.
And when it comes to issues of reproductive health, issues of LGBTQ plus rights,
Hmm.
issue of immigrant rights, they are all tied together because you are not going to be fully free unless everyone
Hmm.
around you is.
Sure.
And part of our advocacy, especially when I worked at Planned Parenthood before I ran for office, again, it comes from the fact that 1 in 5 American women have been a Planned Parenthood patient in this country, and 1 in 4 have had an abortion. And so when you share these facts with your peers and with your constituents, it helps them build empathy to understand just how personal and private these situations are and how we should respect a person's ability to love who they want to love, to make decisions
Hmm.
about their family and about
Hmm.
when they are ready to become a parent, or in the case that's very common for those who choose to end a pregnancy, when they are deciding to parent or not, based upon the fact of how many children they might already be caretaking of. And
Right.
so we have to be really, really empathetic on these issues and help break the shame and the judgment and the stigma that surrounds that. Unfortunately, many conservatives have been monopolizing. You know, I always wonder just how hard it would be to attack LGBTQ plus people or to attack abortion if it wasn't so stigmatized. There wasn't so much
Mm.
homophobia and transphobia out there. So through personal story sharing, through helping folks understand why someone might find themselves in this situation, then we're also able to take it a step deeper to talk about, well, how does this also look like from a racial perspective? Because
Right.
looking at abortion bans specifically, they impact every person who might find themselves in this situation. But if you're a person of means, then you will find a way to express bodily autonomy.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult. You're going to have to probably leave the state and go to another location and probably find time off work or childcare. But if you have money, you will find a way to do that.
Right.
For those who do not, which are often going to be people of color, working class folks, folks who don't speak English, folks who have a disability, who are more likely to also experience sexual assault compared to their peers.
Hmm.
These are going to be the communities that do not have access. So you really are, in the case of an abortion ban, creating economic injustice because you're creating a situation in your community where some will have access and some will not,
Hmm.
purely based on how much money they have. And
Right.
I think when you help folks understand that, they realize that this is bad policy and we should instead focus on prevention. We should focus on access to healthcare overall while not judging and shaming those who make a decision to end a pregnancy.